Good morning, friends. Welcome to this day that year. In our live stream, we actually talk about the important historic events which have happened today. And today is September 22nd. So let's find out what are the important incidents that has happened today and what are the lessons to be learned from those. Well, in the year 1499, on September 22nd, Switzerland became an independent country. And people who know Switzerland, they would know that Switzerland is a odd country as compared to rest of Europe. I'm not talking about the rest of the world, but at least in Europe. Because if you go to France, people speak French. If you go to Germany, people speak Deutsch. If you go to Spain, people speak Spanish. And in Switzerland, is there a Swiss language? No, because in the northern side, they speak German, a dialect of German. On the western front, where the famous city of Geneva is located, they speak French. And in the down south of the country, where the mountain region is, which is Alps, they speak Italian. So Switzerland became an independent country on September 26, 1499 is a big deal because unlike rest of the Europe, different people decided to form a sovereign nation. Okay, let's move to the next one. Well, this is a very infamous incident in the history of United States, and this is also known as Salem Trials. Well, in a modern era where there were rule, there was law, there was rule of the law, there were judges, and there was the government. In spite of having all this modern thinking, people used to have believe in superstitions. And in Salem, bunch of women were basically framed. And a lot of residents in that neighborhood said that they were practicing witchcraft and hence they were witches. So by a judge following a law, the judge convicted these 29 women, and there are a few men also. Total of 29. They were given death sentence for practicing witchcraft. And today, on in the year 1692, on September 22nd, the last of the 8 people which were convicted for practicing witchcraft, were hanged. So this is a dark history because in the modern times, you can't believe in things like black magic and witchcraft. And especially if you believe in a very remote area where people don't have law and order. But here, this is considered as a dark history in the history of United States simply because a judge passed this judgment. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Well, for the very first time, the Prime Minister of England or UK was assigned an official residence, and that is 10 Downing Street. We all know that. But this happened today on September 22nd in the year 1735, and the first Prime Minister to occupy the official residence of the UK Prime Minister was Robert Walpole. So this is an important trivia because they said that if you are the Prime Minister, you will live in an official residence and not in your own residence or not in a palace somewhere else. You have to be part of the governance and you will have to live and work from this location. So let's move to the next one. Well, American were colonized by the Europeans. We all know that, because in the Europe, it was known as the New World. And a lot of the European were actually crossing the Atlantic and reaching there. And that is why today, if you look at America, you will find people from all kinds of ethnicity, because people from Serbia, Italy, UK, Ireland, France, all of them have gone and settled, and their descendants are now living in United States. But you will never know that even Russian were colonizing on the Western Front, because on the Western Front the Alaska, which is part of USA today, was part of Russia, and they were colonizing the Americas from the western side. And today, on September 22nd, in the year 1784, the first Russian colony was established in Alaska, and this place is called Kodaik Island. It's not only the European who were settling down, it's also the Russians on the western side. They were also entering into Americas. All right, let's move ahead to the next one. Well, being a postmaster was a big deal until we started getting these telexes and emails, and today we have moved past a postman, long time ago actually. But back there, being a postman was a big deal, because postman will bring the news to you, your letters, good news or bad news, in both the cases. So postman used to bring the news to all citizens. And therefore, in the year 1789, on September 22nd, US Congress passed a resolution which required the Postmaster General, which is the head of the postal department, report to the president directly. So you can imagine that a postal department was such a important department. It used to be such an important that the head of the postal department, which is Postmaster General, was reporting to the President of United States. And this law was passed in the year 1789 on September 22nd. Let's move to the next one. Well, we all know that the America had gone through a civil war, and there was a war on the slavery. Basically, the civil war is all about slavery, because the states which were on the south, their economy was completely based on buying the slave and deploying them as cheap labor in their cotton field, whereas in the north, there was nothing, no economy linked to slavery. And in the north side, the President Abraham Lincoln himself came from a very poor background, so he knew the pain of people, and he was against all kinds of slavery, and he wanted to abolish, being a president, he wanted to abolish all this inequality in his country. So he actually, in fact, he's been credited as one of the tallest leader in America to bring equality among people. So, the southern states were not agreeing to this, and finally, being a president, he gave ultimatum to all the southern states to free the slave people and follow the law and rejoin the Union, which is basically the United States, by January 1st, 1863. So he gave this ultimatum on September 22nd, which is today. In the year 1862, considering the history of United States, this is one of the most important day, because on this day, officially, the President of United States literally abolished slavery. Okay, let's move to the next one. Well, this is about Mahatma Gandhi. And you know that Mahatma Gandhi started his Satyagraha in South Africa. So today, on September 22nd, in the year 1913, the first group of people who were resisting the British and the apartheid and inequality were arrested, which consisted of 12 men and 4 women. And surprising fact is, among these 4 women, the arrested woman, one of the women was Kasturba Gandhi also, who was the wife of Mahatma Gandhi. So this is a historic day for us, because this is the day when the Satyagraha was started in South Africa, and then the first arrests were made for violating the for standing up against the the British rule, which was based on inequality. All right, so let's move to the next one. This is very interesting. We all know the advertisement. In fact, sometimes the advertising can be very disruptive also, because if you're watching your favorite program or match and suddenly there is a TV ad which will pop up for a minute or so, which is very annoying. But did you know that today, on September 22nd, the first ever TV advertising advertisement was aired on television, and this is basically for a toothpaste called Gibbs SR toothpaste in UK on a channel called ITV, which was also launched in the year 1955. So as soon as the channels were launched, people realized that it could be a good avenue for advertising, because now you can actually have an audio video content and trying to impress your audience, and hence this is a better medium than a print media. All of that started today on September 22nd in the year 1955. Let's move to the next one. Well, again about India, we all know that India and Pakistan have been involved in 4 bloody wars, and in none of the wars the Pakistan have been able to defeat India. But 1965 war is highly debatable because both sides says we won. But from logical point of view, Pakistan lost simply because the Pakistan has been the attacker always. You know, in the 4 wars, Pakistan have always attacked India. It's not the India which has gone and violated the sovereignty of this Pakistan, which is a neighboring country of India. But in 1965, Pakistan attacked India because they wanted to take advantage of weak India. 3 years prior, there was a battle in which India lost to China in the year 1962. So the assumption was that India has become weak, they don't have resources, they don't have organized army, and Pakistan wanted to attack India and take over Jammu and Kashmir, state of Jammu and Kashmir. So that was their objective. Well, that objective was not met. So Pakistan lost because the aggressor always comes with an objective. And since it was not met, India says the Pakistan lost the war, and Pakistan says they won the war, but we don't know what is their logic. So logically, none of the country won the war, and it is highly debatable, highly controversial, 1965 battle between India and Pakistan. But the ceasefire was announced today on September 22nd in the year 1965, which officially ended the war. So it's an important day for India and Pakistan. So friends, these are some of the incidents which happened today. Some of them are very, very important, very critical for the world, and there are very serious learnings from these incidents. And this is a live show. If you want to have any participation, you can actually participate by sending your messages. Even after the live stream, you can actually comment on whatever I've shared. I look forward to receiving your comment. And thanks for watching today. But I will catch you tomorrow again with more information on this day, that year. Take care and bye-bye.